How's it going? I'm still kind of getting stuff setting up and figuring out how this all works, so hopefully it's going okay. Okay, I think we're all good to go here. So hello and welcome. This is going to be like a super chill stream where I just do some drawing for the game. I'm doing pixel art, so I hope you guys enjoy it, I guess. I'm still figuring out how everything works, but we'll get there. I'm just going to put a quick post on Instagram to let people know that we're good to go. And then we'll get started. Okay, hope you guys are having a good, I guess, afternoon. It's already 2:30, it seems late. The morning went by really quickly. Whose apartment shall we draw today? So I'm thinking I've done most of the ones for Cedar Court, so maybe we'll take a crack at doing someone in Pinewood today. Maybe let's do Haruka because she has a cute apartment. So this is my terrible draft of everything. It's basically just laid out how I want stuff to go in there, but I haven't actually done any of the real drawings. I've just pasted a few bits and pieces from other people's apartments because each of the buildings kind of has their own standard stuff that goes in every apartment in that building. So some of it is pretty standard, like the horrible colours of the walls and the carpet and everything. Unfortunately, she's stuck with those choices, but the rest of it should look pretty good, hopefully. Or at least we'll do a little bit of drawing today and we'll see if we can make it look good. So to begin with, I think I might work on the dress that she's got hanging up. And if you guys have any questions or anything, just pop them in the chat and I will have a look. And hello to everyone who's here already. Okay, so Haruka she's really into fashion and she's got this dress that she hangs up in her bathroom, or really in the doorway to her bathroom, but she never actually wears it. So we need to make it like really avant-garde and cool looking. So I figure maybe it's got some frilly parts and like a train that comes down one side. And then it'll just sit on the hanger like that. That's starting to look a little bit more like an actual dress. I think maybe at the bottom we'll put some like lace or something. There you go, some nice highlights. That's looking pretty good. I think maybe it needs like some kind of highlight across the bottom of it and like a contrasting color, so maybe we'll go maybe not contrasting, maybe we'll just go a nice purple. And we'll just add a little bit of a frill. And then maybe mirror it up the top. I am definitely not as entertaining as a Bob Ross stream. And a little bit more shading on the coat hanger. Pretty nice. So maybe just something on the belt too. Perfect. So, she's also got all of these welcome mats and rugs and stuff everywhere. So I might do those next and we'll work our way from bottom to top. So I'm pretty much just going to grab a texture from one of the other ones. Who's already finished? Grab some texture from here and bring it back into Harker's. Now I guess I need to bust out some calligraphy skills, which is really not my forte. But I want her to have like a whole heap of really cheesy wall hangings and rugs, like all the kind of live, laugh, love stuff. So she needs like a really big welcome. Much harder to do in pixel art. pasted to the wrong way. Good move. If you're able to say at this point, what's your game about? So my game is basically a chill life sim. So pixel art, obviously, as you can see what I'm actually doing here. And you move to a new city, and you can choose between 4 different apartments that you want to live in. And then from there, you can upgrade your apartment, you can make friends with people, you can romance the NPCs. It's basically kind of along the lines of a Stardew Valley Animal Crossing kind of thing, but in a city. So lots of busy city stuff going on rather than the whole farming vibe. You can still farm in that you can grow houseplants and stuff in your bedroom or your apartment building. So there's lots of that kind of stuff going on, but with a more city vibe, I guess. I'm not very good at explaining it, but you can kind of get the gist. It's called Moonlight in Garland, and you can wishlist it on Steam now. And so at the moment, I'm just designing apartments for different NPCs. Thank you. Yes, more chill games. The world needs more chill games. And so yeah, at the moment I'm just designing apartments for the other NPCs to live in. Because as you sort of progress through the game, at different points, you'll have little sort of relationship checkpoints where, like, you can, if you level up your friendship enough, you'll get the NPC's phone number. So you'll be able to phone them in game and find out where they are, or text them or whatever. So you don't have to run around the whole town looking for them if you need to give them a gift or do something to further the plot that way. And later on, once you've gone through a couple of different levels, you'll be able to go in their apartments. So they need pretty cute apartments, I think. But it's a bit tricky because there are a lot of NPCs in the game. Just the basic ones, there are 22 of them, so there's quite a few apartments to draw. Plus all the other stuff they need. But at least with 22 NPCs, that gives a decent amount of choice for dating and whatnot. There we go, nice welcome mat. You found the Steam page? Yeah, the apartment with all the plants is basically me too, right? That whole grow too many plants thing, that's from real life, because that's what my apartment looked like during the pandemic. We started out the pandemic with like just some sad tiny plants and exited it with like 2 giant palm trees, a giant one of those prayer plants that kind of waves, and about a million tiny other plants. There's like no spare surfaces in the apartment anymore. Calmly turning my imaginary apartment into a jungle. Yeah, right? That sounds pretty accurate. Except probably less calmly once you get past the first few garden events. You can upgrade to your to do outside farming and stuff. So like the council has areas that you can farm as well. Until eventually you like super upgrade into the hobby farm in the mountains nearby, and then it's anything but calm anymore. Oh really? What kind of trees do you have? Most of my little ones are dead now too though. The big ones lasted through the pandemic, but the little ones not so much. I think little ones are much harder to keep alive than big ones are. Succulents, a mint plant, and an orchid. I envy you on the orchid. We tried with orchids for so long and I just couldn't keep them alive. It's so hard. I was gonna flower again this year too. Man, that's awesome. Clearly you're much more of a green thumb than I am. I think the only ones we've got that are still doing well are the palms, because you basically can't kill them, and the prayer plant thingy. I didn't think that one was going to do so well, but it ended up doing ridiculously well. Too well even, because it's taken over like half of the living room. I'd really like to get some more orchids. We had maybe 3 of them that we tried to keep alive, but it just did not go so well. One of them was really pretty though. It was basically, it kind of looked like a cherry blossom when it was flowering. Pink with a little tiny bit of yellow in the middle of it. Super cute. They grow in the bark of trees? That's pretty cool though. I need to start adding some more plants into the game because you've only got 5 options at the moment. And they're fairly basic stuff like palms and what else? There's like a string of pearls, and I think the one that I like the best is called, I can never pronounce it right, it's like Syngonium neon, but it looks like they look like little arrows and the inside of them is pink. They're so cute. Oh, your orchid came in like the hay stuff? Yes, so did mine. And I could never figure out if we were watering it too much or too little. I feel like M is the hardest letter to do in calligraphy in pixel art. They never come out right. It's always the join. That looks like it's says horn instead of home. Oh, you make the clothes on Animal Crossing? That's so cute. I tried doing that, but I was never good at it. I ended up making like a couple of things, but I got so frustrated trying to use their like design stuff that I gave up pretty quickly. So many other people are so good at it, it's easier just to download other people's designs. And to be honest, I had no idea about pixel art before I started making the game either. It's very much a baptism of fire, but I like that I can do it on my iPad, and it's much quicker to get this sort of stuff up and running with pixel art, because everything just slots in together. You don't have to worry about the animations like matching up as much. Oh, your town was gonna be Sailor Moon themed? Crystal Tokyo. Aw, man. That sounds awesome. Did you get very far with it? My New Horizons town I did not get very far with at all. I spent like all of my energy at the start trying to get the villages that I had in my New Leaf town. And after I got all of them finally, by like doing Nook miles over and over and over and over and over again, like to the point of insanity, I was like, yep, got everyone, cool, that's the end of the game. And so I did basically nothing after that. My like town was like half finished and not so great. It was so annoying when they would ruin your paths in New Leaf, wasn't it? It was frustrating that you couldn't pick where they went either. But to be honest, by the end of New Leaf, I ended up hacking my DS so that I could just choose all of that stuff. And that's why I spent so much time trying to get them again in New Horizons, because I was like, oh, I finally got all the good villages the way that I want them in New Leaf. Everything's going to be exactly the same in New Horizons. I brought all of the exact same villages over. It was like we all went away on like an island holiday together, except then I got bored and never went back. Oh, you should totally give it a shot. It's not something that I guess we're really allowed to talk about, but DS can be really, really cool if you know where to look. Okay, so Haruka needs like a giant sun mat in her bathroom. So I'm pretty much just going to do the same thing again. But I wish it was as easy on the Switch as it was in New Horizons to do things the way that you wanted. I think it's very difficult to get the same sort of control on the Switch version. You know what, I think I'm just going to delete this and we'll draw it again. There's no point trying to save my crappy sketch. You should pick up the game. Every now and then I check in on my old village, and to be honest, I probably go there more than my New Horizons one now. There's so many good games on Switch, you're totally missing out. We just finished playing, well, we didn't really finish it, but we finished as much as we probably will get to. Zelda Breath of the Wild. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Obviously there's New Horizons too, and you'll do that for ages, but you'll totally burn yourself out on it. But when you get a little time, have a look at some of the Switch games. I'm hoping that my game will be out on Switch too, so fingers crossed there. Lots of Otome games. Yes, okay, I do really recommend Breath of the Wild, but I don't know if I'd say that it would be good for a first Switch game, because I found the controls to be kind of difficult, and like, I play a decent amount of games, but the controls on it just, I don't know, it just didn't quite gel with me, I guess. They were very complicated, and it was the first game that I'd played in a very long time where you have to control the camera yourself, and to be honest, I'm really bad at that. Like, really bad at that. We ended up taking turns, so I'd do some, and then James would do some. But it's really pretty, and I found like I guess a balance between puzzles and fighting was really good. Is it a lot like Genshin Impact? Was that something people were saying when Genshin first came out because they didn't know what it was yet? I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't played Genshin Impact, but I've seen it online, obviously, but I haven't got too deep into it. It does look kind of visually similar. Zelda is really, there's like the main storyline, there's a billion side quests that you can choose to do or not do, and then you effectively are just like leveling up your character. But in between that, you can sort of like just explore the world and run around. There's like what they call shrine quests and whatnot, where you have to find these cute little shrines in the game that are hidden, and so you run around the countryside looking for them. Then once you get there, there are like puzzles that you can solve. Oh, hang on, I need to figure out how many of these I should be doing. 2 seconds while I work out the math first. It's not an even circle. That's why we're gonna have problems. Yeah, so you kind of run around the map looking for these shrines, and then once you get there, the shrine is either like a puzzle shrine or a combat shrine, and you use your abilities in the shrine to solve the puzzle to get orbs to then like level up your equipment and stuff like that. So it does sound like Genshin Impact. Have you played? Would you recommend it? The people that I know that have started playing have said that it's like a rabbit hole that ends up eating all of their time with like daily stuff that they have to do. So I've been like really hesitant to start it, knowing that I might end up with another like game to be addicted to. But I downloaded Genshin Impact a little while ago. I recommend it, but it's kind of a black hole. I see, so the people that I know who are playing it are correct. I did download it to see what the fuss was about, but I never opened it, so it's just been sitting on my iPad. I should get around to it. I suppose now that we're finished Breath of the Wild, well, I guess we're not really finished it. We didn't find all the shrines because there's like 120 of them. I think we're up to 80 or 90. And we definitely didn't find all of the korok seeds because there's like 900 of those. Hi, Surface Studios. Bandana James. He's not making an appearance. Bandana James is sitting at the desk behind me, busily playing his own games instead of paying attention to my stream, like a good husband.
I'm working on your shit!
I don't know if you guys could hear that, but he said he's working on my stuff, so clearly he's a very good husband. So is Genshin Impact fairly similar in that you sort of like travel around and fight people here and there, but there's a lot of puzzles? Because I really like puzzle games. Basic story that you play as one of the twins. Have you tried Eastwood yet? It's kind of like a modern post-apocalyptic take on Zelda. The twins get separated in Genshin Impact, so you're trying to find your twin. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. That sounds like something that I'd be into. Is it only on mobile or is it console as well? I've seen Eastwood. Surf Studio was asking about Eastwood. I've seen it, but I have not played it yet. But that is mostly out of laziness. I keep waiting for it to come on sale again, but it hasn't. Did you end up liking it? Like as much as the sort of old Zeldas? Because it's a bit more modern, isn't it? Eastwood, I mean. I think that one kind of has a similar storyline too. It's sort of, I know that you're trying to find someone, right, in Eastwood? Surface Studio says, I haven't played it quite as much as I would have liked, but it's more heavy on the story and characters. That makes sense. I feel like that's the problem, isn't it? Being an adult, you end up having to wait for time to play games. You've only gotten so far to understand the game is about traveling east. That doesn't sound like hugely far considering the name. Being an adult does suck. Need to build more playing video game times into job. Oh, when you say it's like Zelda, which game are you referring to? That's a good question. I reckon it would probably be more along the sort of, like visually it's definitely more pixel-arty, Link to the Past, kind of old Game Boy versions. Ah, Link to the Past. I really liked Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, and Ocarina of Seasons. I spent my whole childhood thinking what I could do what I want as an adult, but now I have obligations and I'm tired half the time. That is a mood, right? I feel like the only you can do what you want thing from childhood that carries over is like eating junk food late at night. I mean, technically you can, but then you end up being an adult and deciding whether you should, which sucks. Jobs need to have mandatory built-in video game time, I think. Even when I'm building a game, I feel like I don't play basically ever. Yeah, right? Eating junk food late at night does make you sick now. That's the difference. Being a child, you just told no you can't, and now being an adult, you know better to do it. Or at least some people do. I'm looking at James, but he can't see me. This looks kind of sunny. Let's give it some eyes to make it less creepy. And a big mouth. Needs to be a very happy sun. But maybe a less crooked mouth than that. I'm just gonna take this mouth and double it. A happy-go-lucky character. As in, the room belongs to a happy-go-lucky character? That's definitely true. So this room belongs to Haruka. And she loves cute stuff. Yeah, looks pretty good. I'll just give it some shading. But she's very by the book. So she loves cute stuff and she loves fashion and dressing up and cosplay and all that kind of stuff. But she never actually does it outside of her bedroom because she's always worried what people will think about her. So her storyline in the game, as you get to know her, she kind of gains her confidence a little bit and starts worrying less about what other people think and just doing stuff to make us, that makes her happy, which I think is what life is about. How many romanceable characters will there be? Okay, so right now there's 22 NPCs, or like the standard NPCs, there's 22. And you can romance everyone who's not already married. And so that ends up being, I think, 18, because there's 2 married couples. Yep. So 18. And a decent split between boys and girls, and you can romance anyone, regardless of gender. I feel like this sun kind of looks creepy now. Maybe if I just do a little bit more shading on the outside of it, it will look less creepy because it's just staring at me. So, and the romances in the game are a little bit more modern too. So it's a little bit, I guess, more realistic than something like A Story of Seasons or whatever, because there's like, in Story of Seasons, you meet someone and then the next step is marrying them. I wanted it to be like, not that. So instead, you meet them, get to know them, you have dating choice as to whether you want to date them or not. And then there's sort of like middle stage progressions as well. So once you start dating, there's like the get to know you phase, and then there's the lovers phase that's above that but below marriage, where you can sort of effectively you could move into their apartment if you want. You can use their apartment as your home base as well as your own apartment. So if you want to go to sleep at night, you can just chill in their space. And things get a bit more serious. So there's like a nice level in between knowing someone, dating them, and then immediately marry them, which, you know, is usually not a great idea in the real world. I say usually because there's always an exception to that rule. Okay, let's just add some highlights. But yeah, it is a lot of characters and stories to write. So all of them have, I guess, their own arc. So they have stuff that they do whether you're together or not. And as you sort of progress, hopefully everyone grows or learns something in some way. Rune Factory 4, I haven't played it yet. It's been on my DS forever, but I never got past the opening yet. More time for more games. So you have to get to know everyone in that one before you get through like dating and whatnot, or before you can get into the marriage phase. Because I love that. I like games that are not like hyper realistic, but slightly realistic. I think that's an okay bath mat. So I really hate these tiles now. You got to marry Leon before you had to put it down. Oh no, Leon's one of the characters in my game's name as well, but also the Leon in my game is not very nice. He's the building manager at one of the buildings, and he's like the most grumpy, mean person at the start. Maybe I should pick a different name. Oh, so you can take them questing with you. That's pretty cool. That's one of the other things that I find is missing in a lot of these kind of genre of games, is that once you marry someone, that's just like the end of their story. Nothing else happens to them. And I think that sucks. Like, life doesn't end at marriage. I feel like that's like a weird, unintentional message to send. Yes, Mean Leon is definitely less grumpy in the end. And he's already married, so you can't marry him. Well, let me see if I can... Let's find my Leon. This is my Leon in game. He's not really marriage material, to be honest. But he's not always this grumpy, so. Oh, you had kids before you left too? That's something else that I haven't put in yet. I need to do a kids mechanic. I need to put, if I do a kids mechanic, I need to figure out how to put them to good use so that they're not just, you know, chilling around in your house, taking up non-decoratable space. Okay, I need to put something in Haruka's apartment here. It needs to be like some kind of cutesy, I don't know if I want to put like a photo, so it looks like he might have a secret soft side. Yes, he does have a secret soft side, especially for his wife. So he's actually a very good husband. He's just not a really friendly building manager. And you know, the building that he's in is kind of falling apart, and he's very stressed about it all. So, you know, maybe if he fix up the building, he'd have less stresses and be friendlier, I guess. I'm really rethinking this whole design, to be honest. Because Pinewood, the building that she lives in, is supposed to be the student building. So everything is decorated like fun, or rather like what adults in the 90s thought was fun. So it's all like really obnoxiously bright colors and stuff. And so it clashes really badly. And I'm having difficulty getting their furniture to look not terrible amongst all of this like clashing colors. Because you don't want it to look hideous. You just want it to look not great. Maybe I'll just power through this one, because some of the other ones work really well. Yeah, okay, I'll just power through and we'll see how we go. Harrick needs more books, but better books. When I last left my family, we were playing in a room on the prince's castle, and the prince was a romanceable character too. It's good that you're like just hanging out in the prince's castle after you didn't marry him. Yes, we did like ugly things in the 90s. Here, case in point, this is the lobby for that building, and it is like ultimate 90s. Yeah, look at this sweet carpet. It is a special design. And the green version really, really reminds me of the trams that we have in Melbourne, like the pattern of the seats. Very 90s rec room. So it has to be a bit ugly. And they're not allowed to change anything in it, obviously, because they're just renting. So totally rad. That is exactly how I would describe that. So I think for some characters, like, who have we got? Some characters, like Dan, have the same apartment, and they've just tried to make the best of it. Maybe posters. First thing I thought of when you mentioned 90s. Old Spice Girls posters. Oh, who was your favorite Spice Girl? I was obsessed with Baby Spice. Okay, let's see what it looks like with some posters then. I feel like Harrick's posters would be all like super cute and pinky purple kind of colors. So maybe we'll get rid of one of her windows, because you know who needs sun anyway. You know, maybe that's the thing. Maybe we just need to get rid of so many windows. They have too many windows and it's unnecessary. Oh, you like Sporty Spice. Yeah, she was pretty cool. Oh, Fables and Fashion like Posh. I feel like that's like so fitting. Well, we just need 2 more girls and then we can form our own supergroup, right? Okay, so maybe if we put a nice big poster up here. Maybe that's too big. No, I didn't see their reunion tour. Was it good? Like, I feel like those kind of things are either going to be really good or really bad. Harrick is really organized, so maybe we give her like 2 posters that are exactly spaced perfectly. I feel like that looks so much better already. It's just the stupid windows. Oh, you didn't see it either? Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like none of them really wanted to be there by the time it ended. So everyone was a bit meh. That's the problem with all of the nostalgia stuff that they're selling these days, is that it's never quite as good, I guess. It's hard to hit that note. Okay, so if she's not going to have any windows, then I feel like I can bring more of these like star fairy lights across. They look terrible at the moment because I haven't actually drawn them. But I'll just put them there so I can see what they look like. The more I think about it, the more I just love the idea of 5 girls being friends and doing cool things in the 90s. That is super true. I can't imagine being able to get 5 friends, you know, organized enough together to do something in one place. Yes. Sailor Moon is the ultimate group of 5 girls. And now who is everyone's favorite there? Obviously, I love Sailor Moon. And I know Fables and Fashion love Sailor Mercury. So how about you? And then I suppose everyone was groups of 5 then too, because the Power Rangers were a group of 5 and I was obsessed with them too. And I wanted to be the pink one, obviously. Venus. But Moon now. Oh, Nerdburger J says Jerry is the best. Well then you are added to our group. Now we just need one more girl. Who's left then? We just need Scary, I think. Yeah, Power Rangers were awesome. Looking back, I think my taste was really consistent in characters between all of them. The Pink Ranger, Sailor Moon, and Baby Spice. I don't know what that says about me. Probably nothing good. Okay, let's do this purple carpet. I think I'm just going to make everything in her room like purple and blue themed. That at least will tie it in together, and I guess I could probably just do... I could switch her out to have blue carpet too. Who else has blue carpet? There we go, Dan has blue carpet, so I'm just going to take his blue carpet. Then at least maybe it will look a bit more consistent. There you go, that's a little bit less intense. I like Kimberly the best too. Yeah, 'cause she was awesome. I wanted a pterodactyl so badly. Don't you laugh at me, James? Which ranger were you?
I think it was either green or black.
James says he was green or black. Can you guys actually hear him laughing at me? Or can you only hear me because I've got the mic on? Okay, let's do this purple carpet. Sky Dances and Princess Guinevere and the Jewel Riders. I don't think we had those ones here. Sky Dances kind of sounds familiar, but I think I might be thinking there were like these dolls that we had that were called Sky Dances, and they had like, oh, you can hear them too. They can hear you.
Good, they should. I'm very entertaining.
But we had Sky Dances, and they were like, they sat on like a little stick thing, and the doll was here, and they had wings, and you like pulled a string, and they spun around and like spun up into the sky and like flew, but not well. And I kind of only remember it because I had one of them at one point, and I had a budgie at the time, and my budgie tried to attack it and sent it like the doll flew into our ceiling fan and got pretty beat up. Magical girl shows before I knew what magical girls were. Yeah, right? There were like a lot of magical girl sort of themed shows in the 90s. What a good time. Ah, Sky Dancers was based on the toy. 3 girls and 2 guys had to save another world ruled by the Sky Queen, or the Queen Skylar. Birds versus Sky Dancers. Oh, that sounds intense. No, I don't think we ever got the cartoon here. I think we just had the toys. But that sounds pretty awesome. I wonder if it's on YouTube somewhere. I'm gonna end up in like a super nostalgia kick after this, probably. What am I doing? I'm running out of design ideas for carpets for some reason, and like rugs, they're the hardest things to design. I don't know why, but I guess it's probably because how many rug designs can there physically be? Princess Guinevere and the Jewel Riders was about a princess of a magical world and her 2 friends. They transformed using jewels, rode magical horses, and fought evil. I mean, that sounds very similar to like all of the TV shows from that era, but in like a really good way. We had, in Australia, we had lots and lots of like locally produced things. So we had like Ocean Girl and Around the Twist and stuff like that. And then we had like the imported American cartoons played after the local stuff on a different channel. I was a Canadian character. Oh, they changed the name to air it in America? That's so weird. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty nostalgic over pastel 90s things now too. Really love the sort of 90s anime aesthetic too. Very different from the current style. But it's hard to find all of that stuff to watch it legally. It's tricky. Guinevere was too difficult to pronounce. That sounds about right. I used to love a show that we had. I think it was a British show. Yeah, it was a British show. And it was like a version of Robin Hood, except Maid Marian was Robin Hood, so it was Maid Marian and her band of merry men. And I was like super obsessed with that for a while. There were so many good cartoons then. I don't know if it's just because I aged out of it or there are just less cool cartoons now. But I feel like I'd go back and try to watch all of these and they probably wouldn't hold up. You know what? Maybe Haruka has a rug that goes around the entire bedroom so I can see less of this ugly blue carpet. Yeah, Maid Marian and her band of merry men was awesome. But yeah, I have no idea if it holds up. It probably doesn't. It's probably, I'm pretty sure it was by Tony Robbins, who was Baldric in Blackadder. So, to be honest, thinking about that, I can't imagine him doing a show that was super appropriate for kids. And now I'm kind of surprised that my parents let me watch it at the time. Oh, you had a Robin Hood cartoon, but just about Robin. I was super obsessed with Robin Hood in like all forms as a kid. And I'm pretty sure it was because, was it a Disney movie where they were foxes? Like the animated Robin Hood movie? I don't know if it was Disney or if it was just a different animation studio. But like, that movie was my entire childhood, but I don't want to watch it again just in case. Just in case it was actually horrible. Okay, that's kind of cute. Okay, so I think maybe she needs a blue bed. So let's just color change that while we're here. And I think the wood should be white, because I think everything in here should just be like cute white and pastel stuff. Okay, is that, no, put it on another layer so that I don't destroy anything else. Because I often forget, and then I mess all of the layers up and have to like go way back. You're like Peter Pan. Okay, so maybe her sheets, because I don't want to make her have white sheets and then white bed. So maybe we'll make her pillow pink. Make her pillow pink because she loves magical stuff. As an adult, I'm really confused about how the Hunchback of Notre Dame was even a kid's movie. The villain is so creepy. I don't remember it. Like, I know I watched it at the time, but I think I've like blocked it out of my memory. I remember being scared in Anastasia though. But it also really made me want a pet bat. Really, I think the theme with all of these movies is that they made me want pets of some kind. Okay, that's not bad. The pillow should be more square, I think. And now we just need to make her bed white. Oh, he was creeping on Esmeralda? Ew. Yeah, I feel like a lot of stuff is no longer appropriate in a lot of movies that we watched. So maybe her bed, maybe we make it like a, not a 4-poster, but maybe it goes like up like this with a little ball thing there. But then again, this is also her first time out of home, so she should probably just have the standard one. No, but maybe she brought her bed with her. Okay, and then it has like lines and stuff down there. And then here we can have it go across there and then like line stuff down there. You know what, I'm just gonna go copy paste the lines from the outside of one of the other buildings. Yeah, definitely an odd choice for kids, having a villain that's just like creeping on the lead character. Wait, can you guys hear Lottie snoring as well? Because she's lying next to me and she's snoring pretty loudly. And I can't imagine that's like particularly relaxing to listen to. Okay. Let's have a look here. I'm just gonna grab this. This is my old English style pub in the game. And now it's also gonna be Harika's bed. Yes, I think that is Lottie snoring in the background. It's weird because I thought maybe I didn't set the mic setting properly in OBS. She sounds like a growl. Is it very ASMR? Let me check the settings and see if I messed it up. Unless you guys actually want to listen to my dog snoring. Which, you know, I could see post-workout Pantana James. No, he snores much louder than that. Okay. I'll leave it. I'll leave the snoring. But I'm guessing that I didn't put the input in, so next time I'll figure it out. But I guess if I don't need the music, then I could take this stupid headphone out. Okay, good. I can get rid of my headphone then because it was really starting to bite my ear. Someone really likes James. James, your boyfriend is in my stream.
Is he? Is he hot?
I don't know, you'd have to ask his wife. Let's get rid of all of this. And this will suddenly be a nice bed for Harika. Bro crush. Toby says no, he's not hot. When my dog was alive, I think she used to dream of running around and barking at things because she would move her little feet and make sleepy barking noises. Oh, that's so cute. Lottie does that a lot too. But like, sometimes she's having good dreams and other times not so much. And I always, like, it's really hard to tell when she's happy because she doesn't wag her tail because her tail is too fluffy. But when she's asleep, sometimes she manages it. But sometimes she also has bad dreams too, which makes me feel pretty bad. And she doesn't like do full barking, but she yips. So she like has her little feet running and she's like yip 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 yip. It's so cute. Then I feel bad that she's having a nightmare and wake her up. But I never know whether I should wake her up or if I should let her come out of the dream. Because, you know, that whole sleeping dogs lie stuff. But I feel like that's probably just a myth. Or, you know, from people who don't want to get bit by their dogs. What kind of dog did you have? Yeah, she's having a good dream now, don't worry. I can tell she went on a walk this morning. She's probably dreaming about not being asked to go on another walk. She was a Pomchi and a Maltese mix. Oh, so cute. Yeah, Lottie's not a big walker. Like, at all. She gets really excited to go out, but then the second we're outside, she's like, cool, so I'm done, let's go home. Which isn't super great. And this morning she didn't want to go out at all. Usually you'll like pick up the leash so is her brother. Oh, you got the siblings? That's so cute. Lottie has 2 brothers, but I haven't seen them since we got her.
Hey, dumb.
Yeah, they did look kind of dumb, but like in a really beautiful way.
James.
I didn't say it.
Someone else in the chat?
No. When we went to get Lottie, she had her 2 brothers there, and I got to pick between the 3 of them, and her brothers were sitting on top of her and they kept walking on top of her, so obviously I picked Lottie. What's the weather in Australia? Not snowing right now. No. And I don't think does it ever snow in this area? I think so. Fables and Fashion would be able to tell that better than me, because I've only been here for what, like 11 or so years. But no, it doesn't snow in Melbourne. It might a little bit further out, like maybe like Dandenong area-ish, but not anywhere near we are. I wish it did. That would be awesome. The weather has not been too bad. It was really hot in January. Because it's still, no, it's February. This year's gone so fast. We had sort of like a mini heat wave, which was pretty uncomfortable. But it wasn't that bad. Mostly because I was inside in the air conditioning. Fable says never in Melbourne, but in the mountain areas like Mount Buller. We have hail sometimes, but that's about it. Yeah, so we had a heat wave, and that was pretty annoying, but not terrible. But literally, I only say that because now we have air conditioning. If we didn't have air conditioning, it would have been the worst, and I would have been complaining about it constantly. Because I am not good in the heat. Or you had a snowpocalypse in Canada. I mean, that sounds kind of cool. Like a cool snowpocalypse, or like a bad one and people were hurt and whatnot. But looking out my window now, it's just kind of averagey. I think it's in, let's see, what's the temperature today? I can find out. It's 28 today, so it's warm, but it's not intolerable. But also, I'm still inside in the air conditioning, so I couldn't tell you about outside. Oh no, you had to shovel the snow in your driveway? The piles were as tall as you. Oh my god. That's crazy. I would love to see that kind of snow. Like, I'm sure it's not as fun when you're, you know, there. But as someone who doesn't have snow, it sounds so cool. I would really like to spend just a winter somewhere that snows a lot. Just so I could see. And then I'd probably really regret it. Because it would be very cold, obviously. It's good that no one was hurt. Just some cars and buses got stuck. I feel like that happens here like every year when we have our annual heat wave, which is, you know, summer. Suddenly the train tracks get warped because of the heat or whatever. And then everyone's like, oh my god, who could have seen this? Surely not the government or any of us. In Australia in the summer. There we go, it's kind of a nice bed. Passengers on the bus had to get out and help push the bus. Oh no. Okay, well at least the kids in your neighborhood had fun. I mean, that's a thing, right? Kids going to like snow days and stuff. I don't know, we didn't have that here, obviously, because of the lack of snow. In fact, I really felt like we should have gotten sent home from school on hot days, but we did not get that either. I think the minimum for going home was like 37 or something crazy. has only happened once in Canada. How hot do the summers get over there? Like, does it get super hot, like 35, 40 degrees, or is it just like reasonably pleasant? I don't know a lot about Canada, but I'd like to visit one day. Yeah, I feel like that's a reasonable bed for Harrica to have. That's good enough for now anyway. Okay, now she needs an equally cute desk. So I think I'm just going to use this desk, but I'm going to make it lighter on the bottom and then white on the top, or maybe we'll make it colored. So maybe we make her have, what color should it be? I can get up to 35 degrees-ish in summer. Yeah, that's pretty toasty. Weather advisories when it reached 37, yeah. In our last apartment, we did not do well in the summer at all. Celsius. Yeah, we use Celsius too. I always get so confused with Fahrenheit. I do not understand it at all. Yeah, our last apartment didn't have air conditioning and it was the worst. I just don't cope well in the heat at all. Okay, let's put this on a new layer. And see how we go. At least we haven't had any bushfires this year. Or at least not many. Okay, I think I'm just going to take the colors from here and just paste them across, because that will be much easier than redoing everything. The plus side of this pixel art program is that it makes it really easy just to paste stuff across. Maybe slightly more dark. Coldest weather was negative 35. Oh my god, winters get cold as the negative 30s? Okay, our winters are much milder than that. Our winters, like, I can't remember last year. I think it probably got down to like maybe 2 or 3 at night. Like it doesn't get below freezing here. I definitely don't know that I could handle it if it did. But Melbourne, it's not really built for extreme heat. So like the houses here don't have particularly good heating or cooling stuff built in, which can make it pretty tricky. Maybe her drawers should be like light blue too. That'd be nice. Well, it's been pretty mild even though there's been this snowpocalypse. I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad, but with global warming and whatnot. But I guess it's better than the alternative of it being ridiculously cold. I think our summer has been fairly mild too, to be honest. There we go, that's pretty cute. Okay, so maybe we'll make the top of it a slightly darker blue. Yeah, okay. We'll make the top darker blue. Harrica likes blue. And at least Lottie stopped snoring. Actually, I should ask you guys, because I can't actually see on the screen, how is my little Violet character in the corner going? Is she like blinking appropriately, or does she look really weird and the eyes are going in like different directions or anything? It's so hard to tell because I'm like looking downwards, and I don't know if the mouth is moving well. Surface Studio. We went to Canada in winter once and I was convinced we'd freeze to death stepping out of the airport. It's just, we Melbourne people are not built for crazy weather. We always joke about how unpredictable Melbourne weather is, but I think overall it's pretty mild compared to what a lot of countries have. Right as I said that Lottie's not snoring anymore, she started having another dream. So you are welcome for that free ASMR. Watching the tablet, but I'll let you know I can't. Yes, please do, thank you. The secret is layer, layer, layer. I thought the secret was Uniqlo Heat Tech, to be honest. I think even though the weather here is pretty mild, it's usually like completely unpredictable, so you'll go out expecting one temperature and it will be completely different 10 minutes later, and then 10 minutes after that it's like completely different again. Oh, that's good. Character is moving properly. Cool. I'm still figuring out how to do the rigging on it. Like, I've got the free trial for the program, so I need to finish it before my free trial runs out. Mini Violet is very focused on the drawing. Okay, good. Thank you, Fable. Yeah, when I was testing it out, I was trying to figure out how to make her move the pen around and stuff. But I couldn't get the eyes to look the right way while I was doing it. Then I hadn't like animated them low enough, and because the camera tracking it is my webcam, so if I'm looking down on the desk, my head is like bent down, and so it thinks that like my eyes are completely closed. Oh good, the blush works. When I was doing tests with that, it looked so weird too, because like looking at the camera and trying to smile with eyes open enough to see what was going on was making them get stuck halfway. The whole tracking software stuff is so cool though. Cool and slightly creepy. Okay, so Harika's desk, we'll put some more stuff on it later. Because I feel like she has a lot of like organization type things. And stacks of planners. And drawers and drawers and drawers of things. And washi tape that she never uses. That's looking pretty good. Okay, so maybe on her desk as well, she can have a nice big mouse pad. And her mouse pad probably should have a mouse too, huh? That would make sense. Yes, she is one of those people who uses the really cute journals and has all of the washi tape and stuff like that in it. That is exactly her. And she spends more time doing the design than she does the actual plans, but everything is like color-coded and amazing. There we go. And then I think her chair should be cuter than that too. Like, that's such an ugly chair. Okay, so maybe we'll do the chair, and then I'll do her string lights and her posters, and then I think I'll probably call it for today. Okay, so what colour should our chair be? Maybe like a purpley kind of colour just to match in with everything else. Yeah, okay. Let's move the chair over here so I can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, maybe we'll go with like a deep bluish purple. Oh, and in case anyone was wondering, this music is from the game too. So this is the home screen music, which James wrote for me. Nice and relaxing. How did you end up making your own game? That is a long story, but the gist of it was that at the start, or like before the pandemic happened, I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And I thought about like a lot of things that I'd wanted to do over the years that I had never really got around to doing, and I've always wanted to make a video game, like always. When I was a kid, I tried a bunch of different ways to make a video game, but obviously as a child, things don't generally work out the way you hope they would, because you don't have the skills yet because you're like 11 years old. And anyway, video games has always been like such a massive part of my life, from a player point of view. So anyway, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I had the idea for the game, and I was telling my friends about it, and they said, yeah, you should do that. And I thought, I wonder how hard it is. And it turns out it's pretty hard. But at the time, I vastly underestimated that. And I figured, you know what, I'll just give it a try for a hobby and see how it works out. And if it works out great, then awesome. And then immediately after that, the pandemic started, and we couldn't really do our regular jobs during that time. So we suddenly had a lot of free time going on, which, you know, blessing and a curse, I guess. But it gave me the time and the sort of space that I needed to be able to actually sit down and learn how to code. Because it, you know, takes a while to figure that kind of stuff out. So I watched a lot of YouTube tutorials, and I figured it out. That's like the short version of it was, I thought, why not? And so I gave it a try. And then I put together like a little crappy, just like a tester demo for my friends to play. And everyone seemed to like it. And the pandemic was still going on because, you know, as it does, it has been going on for quite some time. And here we are. Here we are quite a while later, and I'm really deep into making it. I didn't think I'd get this far, but now it's, you know, there's a free demo that you can play if you want to, but I would suggest waiting until the next release, because the demo's got some bugs that I fixed in the next release, but that should be out in a few weeks, and then you can have a play if you want. Still obviously early stages, even though it's taken a long time to get here, still early stages. But yeah, and so now, I don't know, the pandemic's like 2 years in, so I'm 2 years into this. But yeah, I guess the gist of it is really that I just watched YouTube tutorials and figured it out. Yes, the pandemic did end up being productive. Maybe too productive at some parts. But it was a really good way to keep busy. And so now, as I'm getting through it, I ended up, maybe the back should be white. Yeah, okay, let's make the back white so it looks a little bit less. I think everything in her room should be white. Yeah, so I ended up getting approved for funding and things. So I'm working with Film Victoria. And hopefully the full version will be out end of this year, I guess. And I say that, and immediately I regret saying it, because who knows? Stuff takes a long time. I mean, look how long this pixel art is taking, and we're not even, you know, halfway through her room. I've always wanted to make my own game too, but have no idea how to start. Well, if you have the idea of what you want to make, the getting started part is honestly pretty easy. I learnt coding in a program called Game Maker Studio, and I learnt it using YouTube channel tutorials, mostly from a girl called Friendly Cosmonaut. Her tutorials are so good. She has a farming RPG series, which is awesome. Definitely check it out if you want to learn Game Maker. She's super nice too. So friendly. She lives up to the name, Friendly Cosmonaut. Yeah, so I definitely recommend checking out her videos if you want to learn. The learning curve is pretty steep, especially if you've never done coding before, which I hadn't at the start. But it's totally worth it. And now it's, you know, it's a skill that I can use for anything, I guess. Obviously, I'm hoping that this will be wildly successful, but if not, there's plenty of options. It's always good to have more skills. And it's really fun. Like, I didn't think coding would be as fun as I ended up finding it, but it's kind of addictive because it's all basically problem solving. And I really enjoy puzzles. And coding is all puzzles. Let's see. Yeah, that looks better. There we go. Now she has a chair. So a magical girl Tommy game. That would be very cool. I feel like you could definitely do that in Game Maker. Visual novel or an RPG or what. So if you're doing an RPG, if you're just looking, like if you don't want to learn the coding part yet, there's a program called RPG Maker, which I've heard good things about. I haven't used it, but it seems like it takes a lot of the difficult part of coding out, so that it's just sort of I think part of it is maybe like drag and drop, so you don't have to learn as much hard stuff first up. You can like concentrate on the artwork and that kind of stuff, but I haven't used it, so I have no idea if it's actually any good, but I've seen it recommended. If you want to make a visual novel, Game Maker's okay for that, but I think you'd probably be better off with something that's like purposefully built for it, I guess, because it can be tricky to do dialogue in Game Maker, or at least it was something that I really struggled with, trying to figure out how to do a lot of branching dialogue. And so all of the stuff in my game is based on spreadsheets and spreadsheets and spreadsheets worth of information. You'll have to improve your art. Don't worry, do all of the art for your game, and that is a great way to improve your art. I had never pixel arted before this game either, and I'm still not very good at pixel art, but I am better now than I was. I think my biggest weak points are doing buildings. So, you know, choosing to do a game where the majority of it is buildings was probably not a smart move on my part. Like, everyone always says to start off small first and do just like a small like point and click game, but instead I decided to do a massive RPG. Yes, there is a lot of work involved. So even just like the small stuff that you don't think about, like greetings for characters. So the greetings in my game depend on what time of day it is and what season it is. So if you see someone in the morning, they'll say good morning. If you see someone in the evening, they'll say good evening, you know, that kind of stuff. So when you consider that there's different friendship levels as well, on top of that, each character had to have over 300 dialogue just for greetings and stuff, because they'll have like 3 kinds per day, basically. So you talk to someone three times per day. So the first greeting is like, oh, hey, how you going? Second greeting furthers the plot a little bit. So it'll like just be like, I don't know, I have to avenge my dead parents because of insert plot element. You know, not actually that, but you get the idea. It furthers the plot. And then the third greeting is the one that sort of repeats to tell you, okay, that's enough information for today. It's a lot. 300 for 22 characters. That is something that I do deeply regret. Less characters next time. Yes, do a short, simple game first. Don't make my mistakes. Or do, I mean, it's turning out pretty well, so I can't say that I regret anything, because I'm still loving it. But I think it's definitely not for everyone. But it definitely, the problem solving does become very addictive after a while. But yeah, it is cute. They give them all like little personality, so they can have your regular interactions have a little bit more flavor than just, you know, the standard, wow, look at the spring weather. It's so warm. I mean, there's still a lot of that, because frankly, I couldn't think of 300 dialogues that weren't all of that. Are your love interest characters 12? And you love them too much to cut it down? Yes, that's a thing. You fall in love with the characters for a little bit. My current favorite is George. George is great. Let me find George. This is George. I'm gonna marry him in game. He's an explorer. He goes off to far off lands exploring things. Well, he's not really exploring. He's an anthropologist who explores a lot. He's always doing stuff and reading books. He's a good guy, George. He also looks for Sasquatch a lot in the mountains. Because why wouldn't you? But 12 is a good number of options. I definitely wouldn't suggest 18 or 22. That was also a terrible idea. But at least there'll be a lot of variety. Yeah, right, he is cute. He's got like a lumberjack vibe going on. And his personality is very, you know, George of the Jungle-ish. Or Brendan Fraser in any 90s movie. Or Brendan Fraser in general. He does have a camp date quest. In one of his later ones, you get to go camping with him in the woods to try and find Bigfoot. And obviously you don't find him, but you know, then it zooms out at the end and Bigfoot is there watching your date.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, spoilers. You'll have to do the 22 other characters. What color stars should she have? I feel like yellow's not going to show up against the background unless we make them like a really pale yellow or a really dark orange. Let's see. I mean, that could work. Yeah, okay, we'll just go a darker orange. So have you thought about all of the quests that you want to... Yes, Bigfoot is just like Cupid. I'm so bad at drawing stars. There's some shapes that just don't work in pixel art. If you haven't thought about it at all. I tell you what, the most difficult part so far has been doing the like hard event cutscenes, because each character, so all 18 of them, have like between 6 and 8 cutscenes. And writing them was one thing, and I was like, oh yeah, I can write these. It'll be great. Easy. Actually putting them together in the game engine, oh my god, it was so tedious. My favorite is the himbo. For their unique personalities. I do love a good himbo. They're just such lovable characters. Okay, I feel like that works for the stars. I'll just add a little highlight and then we'll like move them across. We'll just paste them. George is, to be honest, a bit of a himbo. He's both smart and not so smart at the same time. And he is very bad at taking care of plants. So some of your quests involve having to help him there. And he names all of his plants. And it's adorable. You're basing your himbo's character off a goldfish, so his quirk is he forgets everything? Oh my god, that's amazing. I love the idea of basing them off animals. I feel like that's so cute. There we go, some cute little starlights. Okay, posters. Let's see. What layer did I put the posters on? Hopefully I put them, there we go, somewhere useful. You name your plants too. So do I. Aspects of George's personality may be from personal experience. Our two big palms are named Francis and Mooncake. Yeah, maybe she should have her poster here, or should it just be behind her desk? Because it's got to be a Magical Girl poster. Maybe behind her bed. Orchid's name is Marnie, Min's name is Elsie, and an aloe vera named Frida. Oh, that's cute. Maybe I should add in the game, after you finish growing your plant, you should be able to, if you like keep it instead of selling it and you use it to decorate your house, maybe you should be able to name it too. I feel like that would be super cute. Yes, magical 90s girl poster, agreed. Maybe, I feel like it would be blocked too much if it's here. Well, let's just draw it and then we'll see where it actually goes. Okay. Background, I feel like has to be a rainbow. So, let's just pastel rainbow. So Haruka's got, she's super obsessed with a manga slash anime, which is obviously a magical girl anime, because how could it not be? And part of her storyline is that you get to watch it with her and learn about it. And at one point you can ask her about the Netflix adaptation, but she refuses to talk about it because it's terrible. Endgame with outdoorsy himbo character, the two of you adopt 10 more plants. I love it. Finally, George can keep a plant alive. So you're allowed to get a new one. 10 out of 10. There you go. Nice rainbow. Okay, and then on top, I'm thinking, because there's not that many pixels here to draw it in, so what we could do is just draw Nerd Girl. Yes, yes, very much so. Maybe we just draw a girl who will look more like an actual girl once she has other pixels, and she's standing looking all powerful with her swishy skirt. With a hand on a hip. And one hand up, Sailor Moon style. And there's like a mountain here that she's standing on top of or whatever. And there's like sparkles coming out of it. I feel like that looks pretty magical. Or maybe she should have her legs down like that. So it looks like she's like leaping off into the air. Yeah, okay, that looks more magical. And less weird. Yeah, you gotta have sparkles. Okay, let's put the sparkles in first so it looks more good. The difficult part of pixel art is that there are so few pixels, shockingly enough. And so it is hard to convey magical sparkle girl at this scale. I'm gonna do my best. Yeah, that looks like sparkles. Okay. I feel like we keep it grayscale so that she stands out more, but we'll add some features in so that you can actually tell it's like a mountain. Thank you. Okay, let's get a decent highlight cover. And I feel like all of the foreground colors, like, we'll make it monochrome, but the foreground colors just to give it a little bit of something other than black. We'll do some shading in purple. It's gotta be purple. Purple's like the ultimate magical girl color. Everything looks magic in purple. Okay. Let's have a look down here. Okay, so she's got to have legs, obviously. And they need to look like she's just taking a jump. So if we get some of the lighter colour. Like those movie posters where the main character is partially hidden and mysterious. I like it. It's like one of those ones where if you know the character, you know who it is. There we go, it looks like she's jumping. Okay. Oh, Lottie started snoring again. You are welcome. Okay, we'll add some extra colors here. Extra purples so her skirt looks like it's actually moving. Kind of looks like a weird, like this area looks too thick. Looks like she's got like a chicken leg going on. There we go, it kind of looks like a skirt. Just bring this down a little bit so that her leg is more jumping. Is there a reference to Lottie in the game? Yes. Oh my god. Okay. So in one of the areas there's like a shrine temple kind of thing, and inside it you can meet Lottie. Well, not really inside it, but like in the shrine temple kind of thing, you can meet a character who looks suspiciously like Lottie. Magical girl has a little dog companion. Oh, that would be so cute. So yeah, when you go to the shrine, there's like a 1 in 5 chance that Lottie will appear. And in the game, the shrine is supposed to have a fox god, but they have been mysteriously missing. So Lottie is there pretending that it's her. And so when you go in, you can choose to give her an offering. So basically a gift. And then if it's something that she likes, she'll give you terrible life advice. Just like the real Lottie. She doesn't like a lot of things, so her character can be kind of mean, similar to Lottie in real life. But it's definitely worth it if you give her the right things. Let me find her character sheet for you. Where is she? There we go. Angry Lottie. As she pretends to be a fox god, but she's just Lottie. And if you don't bring her things that she likes, she insults you, which I think is just like perfect Lottie. The sun's coming through the window a bit much now, so the screen looks really dark. Hang on, let me just put the blind down so that you guys can actually see better. You're about to be humans? That's exactly Lottie. Oh, it's tricky to get out of this chair. Let's see, how's that? We can turn the brightness up. There we go, that's a bit better. Oop. Bumped into the desk and woke up Lottie.
The real one.
The real one, not this one. But now she's looking at me like I just like did it on purpose, and she's so mad that she's gonna go sleep 3 feet to the left. Oh, poor Lottie. Okay, back to the other one. Let's finish up this magical girl. Yeah, I feel like she should have like long pigtails like literally every magical girl ever has, but I think that would be too difficult to do at this scale. So she's gonna have to deal with just being a regular circle hair. Rather, no hair at all. I don't know, maybe let's give it a go. Because it's gonna look weird if she doesn't have any hair. Good advice. Your crush will definitely like you if you give them a squishy toy. That's very accurate advice. What's the bad advice? Maybe space buns. Oh, good idea, good idea. I'll see if I can get this to work. Yeah, okay, it just kind of looks like something like she's got a head wound and she's bleeding profusely. Let's try space buns. Yeah, I feel like that could work. That looks pretty good. Maybe it's just... Yeah, that looks pretty magical. She looks like she's taking a leap, kind of. Yeah. Okay, maybe we need to put like the name of the top. I think that would look weird. It would be too tall if I put space, like put a name up there. So maybe I'll just leave it. And I'll just put a tiny bit of shading so that it looks more like a poster. I have to go back and do all the shadows for all of these things too. Thank you. Okay, I feel like that's pretty good. So we put it behind here, or maybe above a bed. Maybe just here. I feel like maybe Haruka has like a ton of posters of various magical girl things here, because she is a super fan, so she should probably have a lot of them. But I feel like we made some progress. We've got her rug, her cute dress that she literally never wears out, and the start of her bedroom. So it doesn't have any shading or like shadows yet, but I think that's fine for now. We'll pick up and do the shadows next time. And continue with the rest of her stuff. So she has to have like a big clothes rack here and something here. I don't really know what, but she needs some kind of furniture. She's got a little TV and then her sewing kit where she does all of her cosplay sewing. And then stuff for her kitchen. She's got in her bathroom, she's gonna have like a nice little plant here and then a whole bunch of makeup and some like little incense sticks and stuff like that there. But yeah, that will be for next time, I guess. So I hope you guys had a fun stream. Do I stream on schedule? Well, this is the first art stream that I've done. And I was thinking, I definitely want to do more because I had fun today. But I don't know. I hadn't thought of a schedule. I mean, at least we could do once a week. Let me think about it. And I will get back to you. So I'll always, whenever we do them, I'll always publish them on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, more streams, please. Okay. Yes, and I will figure out a schedule. because I've got a ton of these to do, so at least we can do some more NPC drawing together, but I might be a bit random to begin with until I can figure out exactly how to schedule it. This month is super busy, but I have to do it, so I might as well stream them. Give us omnipotent evil Lottie. Okay. Maybe Harika also has a poster of evil Lottie in her bedroom. More streams, fables. You guys are good at peer pressure, huh? Okay, well, I'll figure it out. And let me know, all hail Lottie, if you'd rather me keep going on YouTube or if you'd rather me switch over to Twitch. Because I was thinking that because we're doing stuff for video games, maybe more people on Twitch would be interested than YouTube. But we'll see how we go. I will definitely do another one this week, the next time I have a drawing afternoon though. I hope you guys had fun anyway. I had fun drawing. And yeah, I guess that's it. That's the stream. I don't know how to end this. Thank you all for coming. I've had a lovely time chatting. Thanks for keeping me company while I draw cute bedrooms. It's been good chatting nostalgia and magical 90s girls. And I guess I'll see you all next time. I'm going to wait for the chat to catch up because there's like a delay, and then I'll say bye. Bye. Bye, guys. You know, actually, I realized that I don't know how to stop this, so I think I just stop it from OBS. This is my problem, is that I've done zero research. Okay, bye.